Okay, at this video we are going to talk about mm, a classless. Uh, we have class full and classless. Like class full, we were talking about like we have a network ID 150.10, and then we were going to find out what is the first host and what is the last host, and then the broadcast ID. We could find it. The first host is going to be 150.10. If the network address is 150.10, 150.10.10, 0, 10.0.0. The first one is going to be this one, the last one is going to be that one, and the broadcast ID is going to be that. But we are talking about now classless. What the classless is, first of all, gotta tell you that the cider notation, like you see something 26, what does that mean? It means there are 26 ones, and from 32 total, there are four octets. There are four 8. 4 times 8 is going to be 32. So it's going to be 30, it's going to be 26, 1 8, 1 8, and then 6, another 8, 16, and then another 8 is going to be 24, and then 26, and then the rest is going to be 0 up to 32. Okay, up to 32 is going to be zeros. So it means that the number of the host, host, as you know, the number of the host, any devices that could be computers, printers. If you want to have the number of the hosts less, so we use class C. If we're going to have more hosts, we are going to have class B, and then more hosts. There are more than that. I mean, just give you an example. There are. This is the table that is very important. I mean, there is another way to go to solve the problems another way, but this way is much easier to explain. See, the number of the host and the number of subnet. The number of host is on the top, and the number of the subnet is at the bottom. So what does that mean? It means that if there is a company that has, like a lot of employees, like there are 32 department, or 16 department, and one of the department, the employee is like 4,000. So what you want to do, if they give you a network ID, and then they say, we want the number of the subnet, the number of the host, they say that what they want they give you some information, and then from the information you have to do subnetting. We will explain more about that, about subnetting, but right now we are gonna say that, say the number of hosts needed, the number of subnet needed, and then they give you a network ID, like 150 10 0 0. So if they say there are so many departments in a company, and there are, suppose we are here, these are the subnets. If they say like we need 32 subnets, then what you do, you draw a line here, and then what you do, you write this. They say if you need 32 subnet, 32, then you got to have 248. Maybe you don't need, you just need 2000, but you got to choose this one if there's some employee in one of the department, there are like 32 department, for example. We have sales, we have employees, there are too many, like the vendors in a company, or we are talking about the university, you have to see that how many subnet, like we have an instructor, students, the courses and all this. See, like for example, they say we needed the number of the hosts we need is 1600. Okay, you need 1600. You look for here, this class B is this 1600. So you can't use this one because it's up to 1024, the number of hosts. But you have to choose this one. And when you choose this one, the number of the subnet needed, like if it was 30, now we write this. We write this that let's they say we need the number of subnet needed is, for example, 900. The number of hosts needed 900. And this is one of the information that it's needed. And the host, the network ID, this one. So from this you can get some other information. See, 900, you can choose this one instead of this one. This is, so when you choose the number of hosts 1024, there would be 64 subnets. Okay, maybe the number of the subnet needed is I don't know, 50, but you have to choose this one because it's or from this one, the number of the subnet needed, or they give you some information of this one, and they don't give you the number of the host needed. So you choose this one, because if they say the number of the subnet, this is subnet. Okay, if they needed 20, then you choose this one because it's more than 16. I mean, you cannot choose 16 because this is 20. And you have to choose this one, and then the number of the hosts is going to be 2048. But right now is, like for example, 40. So you have to choose this one, because you cannot choose this one because this is 32. So what from here you find out how many. This is the number of the bits. These are the bits, okay, binary. The number of the bits needed or borrowed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, when you choose this one, now suppose that this is 6. Or come back to this one. Let's begin. We need this one. 32. So the from here you can find what? First of all, find about the default subnet. They ask you the default subnet. Let's talk about default subnet. What is default subnet? See, this is class B. Okay, class B is started from 128 to 191. Means if you have an address that is between this range, 191, 255, 255, 254. Actually, because the last one, you know, it's going to be the always the last one is going to be for broadcast, that we will talk about it. So if the range is 150, it's going to be class B, class B. So this is 150 from 128 to 191, it's class B. And then they ask you some question. Okay, what's the default subnet? Default subnet mask. Okay, the default subnet mask is, for this one is 255, 255, 0, 0. Okay, that default subnet mask means if you have class B, since you have this one, that you know that these zeros, you know, mean actually there are 8 0 here, 8 0 here, but these 1 1 1 and then 1 1 1. These are the default subnet mask. But when they give you, they want you to subnet that and find the custom subnet mask. You see that this is 255, 255, and then you see how many bits borrowed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is here, because we want 32. We draw a line, 32 subnet and 2048 host. So the custom subnet mask is here then we talked about it earlier that when we have something like that, you know, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, up to here. Up to here. Oh, there's 5 1s and 3 zeros. Because what we did is they want to write the subnet mask according to this table, because we needed 232 subnet. The number of subnet needed is 32, so you have to write the default subnet mask. It's going to be see 128 plus 160 plus 64 plus 32 plus 16 plus 8. There are 5 ones, so it's going to be like 248. It's going to be 248. Okay, 0. This is the default subnet mask for this. Because what we do, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 30, 28, and then we start from 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128 from here, and then what you do, the table was 2 to the power of 1 to the power of 2, 2, 4, 8, 6. You write it up to 65,536. It means that there are 8 0 here, and there are another 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Another 8 here. In 1 8 here and another 8 here. But here we have changed it. They said there are 5 of them, 5 ones here. No, so what actually happens that this is, if you add this together, 128, 64 and 28, 64, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones in here. 5 ones is going to be 248. So we write it here 248. This is default subnet. So, and then they ask you, what is the total of number of subnets? The total of subnets is going to be 32. Okay. And total number of hosts is going to be this one, but this is always -2, because the first one and the last one we deduct 2, that we talk about it, you know, for broadcast ID and default gateway, that we will talk about it soon. So it's going to be, so they say, the question comes, say that what is the total number of subnet, what's the total number of host? So usable address or usable host address, the number of host address. Okay. Oh, the total number of the subnet is 32, and total number of the host is 248 minus 2. So it's going to be 2046. So these are what's the number of the bits borrowed? The number of bits borrowed: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 number of bits borrowed is 5. So this is one of the questions they might ask. They give you a network ID, and they want you to subnet it. They tell you the number of the subnet needed, or the number of the hosts needed. From there, here, the number of the hosts needed, if more than 1024 and less than 4098, you got to choose this one. It say like 1200, you have to choose this one. If they say 900, you can use this one, because you have to provide more, according to this table. So that's the way of finding the number of the host and the number of bits borrowed. I give you another example. Okay, now suppose that you want the number of the subnet the number of the subnet 1024. So the number of the host is got to be, or usable host address is going to be 64. So you're going to choose this one. If they say we need 1000 subnet and 64 hosts in each subnet, so you have to choose this one, and then you draw the line here. Okay, and then when you draw the line here, these are gonna be see what's gonna happen if they tell you have to choose this one. 1024 subnet. They need 100,000 subnet. You choose this one, and then the number of hosts in each subnet is going to be 64. So what's going to happen to the default disk mask is the same, but custom subnet mask is not different. This is going to be 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. There are 8 of them here, 2 of them. So this is going to be the number of custom subnet. It's going to be these all ones here. Okay, it's going to be 255, and then there are 2 of them, 128, but 167 is going to be 192. The subnet, the custom subnet mask is going to be 192. Okay. Now the number of the subnet, how much it's going to be? If they say, like the question is, we give you 150, the network ID, okay, and then we want 60, the number of subnet is equal to 60, okay. Then you choose this one, okay, the number is 64 subnet. So the default mask is going to be this one. The custom, the default is going to be this one, but the custom subnet is going to be 2, because now the first, these are all ones now, okay, and then there are the first two is going to be this. So these are these, and the custom subnet is going to be this one, and this is the number of the host. This is actually 2 to the power of 6, which is 64. See, so from here, if you go further down here, the number of the hosts is going to be less, and the number of a subnet is going to be, see, the number of the ones here, it's going to be more and more, and the number of the host is the number of subnet is going to be increasing, and the number of hosts is going to decrease. So these are the examples of classless society, Sider notation. So actually, this is going to be 6 of them is going to be 26. The Sider notation for allocating, this is another way of allocating the IP address for that. So then we are going to talk about later about class A2, class A. But remember that they ask you to they give you a network ID, and then they give you one information. If it's the number of bits, if they give you the number of bits, this one, it means that you have to draw a line here, because there are 8 ones plus 2 10. 8 here, 2 10. There are 10, 2 to the power of 10. 2 to the power of 10 is going to be the subnet ID, the number of the subnet, and the 2, which is 1024, which we find out here, and then 2 to the power of 6, 64 is going to be this one. So actually from this, the number of the bits, we can find out this table, what this table look like. So whenever, if there are 2 of them here, so if the number of the bits borrowed is 2, then if there are 2 of them here, so all of them would be 0, 2, then there's 6 here, 0, and then there are 8 here. Actually the number of the host is going to be 8 plus 6, 2 to the power of 14 is going to be the host, which is 1684 here. So this is the default subnet mask is going to be 255, and then 192.0 is going to be for this, the custom subnet. Okay, thank you.